Here we are on the Beast course as Prodigy presents the Waco Annual Charity Open. This is Gatekeeper Media's coverage of the MPO Chase Card, Round 3, Back 9. I'm Andrew Fish, joined here by Nathan Queen.
We've had an exciting tournament to watch here, Fish, especially this last front nine we just saw. All four players, and there was only one bogey on the entire card, making for this final round Sunday to be an exciting one. We've got 9 more holes left. You see right here, still everybody inside that top 8 position.
Yeah, handful of scoring holes as well as some of the hardest ones on the course and a lot of wind to deal with. Adam Hammes, Kyle Klein, and Calvin Heimberg jumping out to that 25 under, but still a ton of players who could make things happen with a hot back 9.
Yeah, and a good way to get that started would be with a birdie here on hole 10, 591-foot par 4. If you can get to somewhere around these trees right here with your tee shot, you're going to have the most ideal landing zone to place your upshot where you want to. If you go past the basket a bit too far or off to the left side, it drops away.
Klein playing a little high with a distance driver. That's going to drift right, but right is much preferred to left. Plenty of distance there. Should have an approach into the green, likely a forehand.
Yeah, like you were saying, the left side is pretty rough here, so the straighter the better, and then just don't finish left too much. Cole does kind of get over on that left side.
Yeah, there's a little drop off over there. It's hard to say what kind of gap he'll have to work with. I think playing this hyzer flip is the way to go. And nothing wrong with that.
And here we have Sexton. Looks like he's going to go back to that forehand. Contrast to the other players on the card. And hits the gap nicely and then fades out just a little bit. But like you said, right side is better than left.
Nate totally content to play to his strengths, hit the gap, and then he'll solve the rest of the problem later. McBeth going to play the little baby flex, and I don't know if you can do it a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's got a couple shots this round that are just kind of skittling or scuttling across the ground. It looks like they would get hung up, but has just enough nose up angle on the disc that they keep going. And look at this shot from Sexton.
Yeah, just perfect. There's a little bowl just right of the basket that's a good collector. And Klein is able to make a backhand work. Finds the ditch just long. 25-footer coming back for his birdie. And you can see the top half of Cole. He's a pretty tall guy, so you know he's down in a hole.
And maybe a bit too aggressive there, trying to get forward maybe an extra 15, 20 feet, which wouldn't have really helped him all too much. But still able to get out of there and going to have a look for par.
Yeah, he kind of did himself a disservice by running all the way back across the fairway. And that leaves him with just inside the circle for the par look. Little splash out right side.
Yeah. I guess he didn't like that par on 9. He wanted to get back on that exciting track.
Yeah. If you didn't catch us on the front 9, Cole has 1 par so far. Hole 11.
Oh, go ahead.
Hole 11, 279 feet. Suggestion of a gap shot for sure. A lot of jungle on the left and right. And then the basket perched on the side of the hill. Backhands that come in at the hill have a tendency to get down to the left where there can be obstructed putts. Anything that's up on the shelf to the right is level with the basket, but not much behind it.
Kyle taking that straight shot at it. Oh, and get some great ground play on that hill right in front. Gonna be tapping in another birdie. That'll get 4 in a row for him.
Yeah, such good drift. It's nice to not have to putt. McBeth going to work his way towards circle's edge. You see the wind starting to pick up a little bit. Sexton kind of pure hyzer with the forehand, but even that can work. He's going to be at circle's edge.
Yeah, I don't think that was his intended line there, but it did work out. Ended up on that right side on the shelf.
Yeah, I think the forehand play is usually the like baby flex to try to run into the hill. So 2 park jobs and 2 putts left to go.
Yeah, we saw Cole and Kyle both hit that hill and stick. That is not that's not what you usually see here. A lot of the time you hit that hill and then scoot off into those woods on the left. As Sexton, maybe a little bit of nerves on that one. Big drop off behind the basket.
Beth with the left side catch. And if you scroll back, there's really good jukes from Catch Cam Dave on McBeth's first putt.
Sexton able to card the par, and now we're just going to have a couple drop-ins here. And if Cole can do what he did after the bogey on hole 2, he's got a nice birdie stretch coming along. Bring us into hole 12. A 609-foot par 4. Got a couple Mandos on the right side that don't really come into play, but just some funny angles on this hole. We've seen some players end up on the left side of the fairway and have to stretch out for a sidearm. If you get too far right, then you're kind of pinched off.
Yeah, for a hole without any out of bounds and a pretty honest par 4, definitely a pro level par 4, it was not giving up very many circle 2 or circle 1 in regulation shots. Redalen swinging the forehand. That does test the back wall a little bit, but stays in the middle, just well back of the ideal landing zone.
Oh, and that's been pushed too straight. Anything that flattens out right there is pretty much automatically going to end up hitting that left side.
Yeah, as we see Sexton protect that hyzer much better. Gets himself up to a spot where he'll be able to throw another forehand, probably with a fast disc. And here, McBeth actually waited for the green ahead to clear, trying to be a little ambitious, make something happen. He said he didn't think he could get to a spot, even just pitching low, that he could get a par from. And Nathan, you kind of called it.
Oh my goodness, that is an incredible shot. He was well back on the fairway from where you want to be. And even if you're where you want to be, where Sexton's at, it's a very strange angle to get around this corner up the hill. You still kind of then need to fade back left, so it does play best for that backhand. And he just laces it perfectly. We're not really going to see a better shot than that on this hole, I don't think.
No, definitely not.
Almost. Like a foot higher.
Sexton says a foot higher. I think it needed a little bit more. He went with the Firebird. Probably a faster disc would have been required to really get to the bucket. And McBeth, his third, still at the bottom of the hill. And an errant upshot. Still has the chance for the bogey save.
Kyle, after 2, has put himself in a pretty good spot. Doesn't have too much trouble left to get up and down for par. And comes in a little bit hot, but still right around 20 feet.
Yeah, you can see how wristy his little backhand is there.
We got a birdie. Back to back after taking the bogey on hole 10. He was one of just 7 birdies on this hole today.
Another solid putt from Paul. We know McBeth isn't really interested in 10th. He's going to play for that win, so look for fireworks to come.
Huge thank to my sponsors, DGA, Oregon Sports and Family Chiropractic, OTB Discs, Pound Disc Golf, and Eagles Wings Disc Golf for supporting me on the road this year.
As we come back out into the open for the final 6 holes, hole 13 going to play into a headwind. There is a mandatory that you have to stay left of, and a lot of options here. You're going to see some forehands out to the left, some backhands straight up the gut, potentially an eagle opportunity in more favorable conditions, but I think today this is just get yourself a birdie.
Yeah, coming back out of these woods, we're kind of going back into a headwind now until we get to 17, 18. We're going back the opposite way that you saw 1, 2, and 3 play. And a great shot there.
Yeah, that was something that Kyle mentioned about his preparation, that he kind of thought about both wind conditions, as most wind plays up or down the Brazos River. So he was really considering what to do in a headwind and what to do in a tailwind on each of these.
Well, he seems to have figured out what to do in a headwind pretty well.
Long way from there.
Oh no. An early tree hit there from Sexton may have him out of position for the birdie now. A shorter par 4, but still pretty far back for him.
And McBeth nearly going out of bounds long left, but does keep it in. And Nathan, I think Nate thinks the same as you. He said a long way from there about his tee shot. Should be in position for a pretty routine par, though. As McBeth going to get up and down for birdie. And this is a long way to jump putt into a heady.
And you see we've got a leaderboard check-in here. Kyle Klein still putting some pressure on Adam Hammis right now. He can get this birdie here. That would tie him up for now.
Yeah, Hammis getting the birdie on hole 12. One of 7 players, as you mentioned. He's kind of been the leader for the majority of this tournament, but still a few others in play. Like, a lot of chaos can happen out here.
And Cole bouncing back from that bogey again. He's got himself another turkey. About what you expect to see on this hole, maybe even all 4 birdies. But that brings us into hole 14. Got kind of a triple mando there. Pretty difficult to miss, more of a visual aid. 303-foot par 3. Again, some new trees here kind of make you shape a straight shot rather than have a one-angle shot. It actually does seem to be playing a bit more difficult this year.
Definitely. And with today's headwind, more difficult still. Redalen airs it out to the back edge of the circle. And there's out of bounds left, long, and right. Usually doesn't come into play with well thrown shots. Wow. Klein really trying to trust some stability. I'm guessing that was a splice.
Yeah, very overstable. Paul going with the forehand as well. Doesn't look to be going with something quite as overstable as what Kyle had.
But that's popped up. And Sexton delivers a Firebird, but look at the wind take that. The same as Paul's. Like, as soon as they expose that hyzer flight plate, they just get pushed backwards almost.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to push around that little tree, but just stalled out on him. And looks like Cole, maybe Paul, going to be really the birdie looks that we have here, even though Sexton is a little closer than I thought he was. Not quite able to connect, though.
It's a good
Can't
birdie for
call out.
McBeth.
And that's a scary putt. You can't notice it a ton right here, but it does slope down pretty well right there. And Cole, 4 in a row after the bogey. Gonna be 9 down for the round now.
Klein and I imagine Sexton making good on their par comebackers.
So Kyle tied for the lead, and Cole just 1 stroke behind. Both of these young players making a strong push.
Definitely. Hole 15 gives you some options off the tee. It's bounded by out of bounds on the left and right, the fence and the road respectively. You can either play kind of a safe chip to chip shot, and with this headwind, the go for it is pretty aggressive. As Redalen just pulls it over immediately. I'm not sure that could have gotten back in even without some branches hanging.
Yeah, pretty big mistake there. Like you said, it's pretty aggressive to try to go for this, and I don't think it's worth it. I don't understand the thought process behind trying to go for this with a headwind. I mean, I know I've never been able to throw 560 feet, but with the headwind and how skinny this hole is, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I think for McBeth, he's figuring he's in 7th, and the difference between 7th and 12th isn't big to him. But
you kidding
Klein
me?
actually able to sneak back in bounds after McBeth had done the same thing. McBeth followed Redalen almost exactly, but gets the favorable kick to inbounds. And a much more conservative play here. Sexton going wide rim driver. One little touch off the light pole and in.
Yeah, there was a lot of luck displayed on this hole just now. Paul getting a kick back in up high, and Kyle actually hit the fence and went underneath it. He went back underneath it to come in bounds while he was moving right. So, pretty crazy stuff there.
Nathan, we can tell folks that it happened. I can't explain it though.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me.
McBeth throws his second and comes up to circle's edge short. The difficulty with that is that it does leave that headwind putt. We mentioned it in the front 9, the importance of getting to the tailwind side of the basket when possible. Klein second, pushing a hyzer the entire way. And nearly flares it in, but well inside the bullseye.
All right, here we are. Let's see if we can get a birdie. Here's your best chance. Actually gave it a pretty good run there.
Yeah, and Sexton was telling himself 10 feet long, 10 feet long, 10 feet long, and even with that, he comes up 10 feet short. Cole trying to make some magic happen, but pushes to the back edge. Oh, and McBeth coming up short. So that'll leave him with a bogey. This is Cole for 5.
Yeah, and I think that may take Paul out of that win equation now with 3 holes left.
And you got to think same for Cole.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Kyle Klein here. If you want to follow me on socials, find me at Kyle Klein DG on Instagram or Kyle Klein on YouTube. If you want to also support me and just buy any of my fundraiser tour series discs, discmania.net or discmaniastore.net or greatlakesdisc.com.
Another birdie would seal the win here. Yeah! For $35,000. Congratulations, Ricky Wysocki, your Pro Tour champion 2022.
And here we are on hole 16, 609-foot par 4. One of the easier holes on the course generally. We do have that headwind today, and it does seem to have picked up a little bit more this afternoon, so going to add a bit of difficulty here. But lots of room off of the tee. There is some OB right with the fence and then a sidewalk and an OB left parking lot as well.
Klein wants no part of any of it, just aims for the biggest, fattest part of this fairway. And that's going to leave him somewhere in the neighborhood of 225 into the green. Sexton going to follow. Nothing wrong with that, just not super far. He'll probably have a Firebird in forehand.
Yeah, fortunately on this one, you don't really have to get super far off of that tee.
Yeah, at 609, one of the shorter par 4s we're going to play all year in the Open.
Uh-oh. Paul has drifted too far to the right with the distance that he got and gone OB.
Yeah, don't know if that was a miss or just not quite giving the wind the respect it needed. Redalen's starting to find the same thing, but is able to keep it in bounds. And a little leaderboard check-in. At this point, Klein and Hammes are tied up. Heimberg one back. And Hammes a little bit of the advantage by knowing what Klein has already done. But that means that if Klein continues to birdie, it puts the pressure on Hammes to match.
Absolutely. Klein kind of in the driver's seat. If he birdies out, like you said, he's putting a lot of pressure on Adam to maintain that pace.
Klein gets himself to the tailwind side. Cole with the shortest upshot of the group. And you could see with our cut that McBeth kind of playing real quick. He's visibly frustrated.
Yeah, always one to play for the win. If you're not first, then you're not first.
He told me he didn't quite have it today. We've seen some flashes of brilliance, but also had to cover for some mistakes here and there. This is Klein for his birdie. And strong into the chains. And in round one, Hammes had kind of set the pace with a 12 down in much, much calmer conditions. So already a strong round being put together. Hole 17, one of the biggest, baddest holes out here. Likely going to see forehands off the tee as there's out of bounds to the left and right. and then a peninsula green. With the tailwind off the tee, it's going to be essential to get yourself in a position where you can throw another forehand with control and not have and be able to face the green.
Yeah, great 2-shot hole here. This is, oh man, almost pushing long, but now going to be in about the best position you can be in. He's really set himself up well to get a birdie on this hole.
And a very similar shot, but a different reaction as, wow, does curl up.
Wow. He is way down there. I've never seen that hill be so nice.
Oh, I don't love this. This is kind of skied, letting the wind push it. And Cole is so powerful that he got to a spot where it's actually safe.
You can see he is quite surprised himself, but very happy with the result of that one. Going to be a little pinched off, but still going to be able to reach the green from there.
Be nice. Yeah.
There's that hill you're talking about, but another that's going to curl. So we've got
Man.
3 folks looking directly at the basket now. Captain's Raptor from McBeth. And that screaming tailwind we had on the tee has kind of slackened.
Yeah, you see the flag on the basket not really moving at all right now, which is a bit surprising, but it does help these players out as Kyle, trusting this disc out over the water, absolutely pins it.
This is a super high level shot. It's out there for so long. The conventional play is to run this to the right side and just kind of take your 20, 25 footer. But once again, Klein in the driver's seat. Hamas had birdied 16.
And Cole throwing blindly. Gets it right up there to around circle's edge. Looks like he's just inside. And look where Sexton's drive got to.
Yeah, hard to find a different one that didn't cut the corner. He does go Firebird. And a good start to our card's putts.
So, if I'm remembering correctly, Cole still has 1 par.
Yeah, I think that's a good narrative to keep an eye on as we go into 18. Maybe the prime narrative right now?
Maybe. But Kyle is about to tap in to get to 30 under par, which is that's going to be in the lead going into the last hole.
Yeah, that's big. Watch Jomez coverage to see how Hamas had played 17.
And speaking of the last hole, here it is. Hole 18, 468 feet. Water care, you got a decision to make here for Kyle. He's able to watch. He does know what happened on hole 17. He's made his choice to go for it.
This is big and high. If it has the distance, it's great.
Oh, it's got to check up. And it is a fantastic shot. Inbounds inside circle 1. Opportunity for a turkey to finish. What a shot.
Little crowd razz for Sexton. And that's going to come up short in the water.
Yeah, that seemed to get a few little weird wind bounces, kind of down rather than going up.
Redalen, a little more hyzer, but a little more driven than what Klein's had been, and also gets himself inside the circle. Nearly a bullseye. That's big.
Yeah, incredible shot there. That's going to be looking to get him into a podium position.
And McBeth swings wide, and oh wow, also going to come up short. Playing pretty quickly. Good shot to the back edge of circle.
Yeah, this green is really pretty tight. You see the water right in front of it, and then 40, 45 feet behind the basket, you've got OB as well.
And one of the skippier, faster greens out there on this course. Sexton digs into the front slope, and he will tap in for 4. McBeth going to take a 5 to finish his tournament. And at this point, Kyle Klein controls his destiny, barring an ace from Hammes.
And he has done it. You see the caddy in the background, big fist pump, excited for it. Gets the turkey to finish 31 under par, and like you said, now we wait. Does Adam Hammes ace?
A lot of ruckus from the gallery too. Waco, Texas, thank you so much for coming out. We heard of over 2,000 spectators this weekend. They actually kind of had to cut off the number of spectator tickets sold just because of limitations to the park.
It's okay. I can't see him. I've been pooping my pants since.
Yeah, that's nice. It's pretty good effort, dude. Yeah. Good effort. I just fucking. Yeah, good job. Thank you. Wow. Look at the score match.
Yeah, it's not no scoring errors.
Yeah, we got you at 10, dude. Sorry.
We got the 5-stroke difference.
The MPO field is growing in skill and scoring ability year after year. When you woke up this morning, did you think a 13 under was what you had to shoot today?
I mean, warming up, that's pretty much what I said, 13, 14, somewhere around there. But I didn't think it'd be just an outright win. I thought there'd be a playoff of some sort, whether or not I'm in it. But
let's look at hole number 18. You sat on the tee pad, looked like you were watching Adam Hammes as long as you possibly could. How far back were you looking at scores this round?
maybe after 9. I checked after 9, and then every couple holes from then, just to know what I needed to do, if I need to like play smart or if I could afford something like a bogey or a layup. So,
well, let's piggyback off that. On 18, Adam put his second shot really far away from the basket, C2, and you went for pretty aggressive high hyzer line on 18. Was that just you giving him respect, thinking that he was going to get the birdie?
On 18, really, that's been my play. If there's tailwind, I throw it high and wide and try to spike it in there. I don't try to throw low because I know this green is pretty fast and it could skip long OB or give myself a circle too. So I'm really just trying to stick it real close.
So many people out here came to see you play, and you played phenomenally. 13 under par, such a clean round to finish off. Do you have any words for the people that watched you here and are watching you from home right now?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone that's been by my side this whole time, and anyone who cheered me on today. I really appreciate my fans, and yeah, I just feel honored to be here today.
Well, congratulations. What a weekend, and enjoy yourself this week. We'll see you in Austin.
Thank you.
Well, an absolute barn burner here, Nathan. We're so glad that you chose to join us on Gatekeeper Media as we see another chase card win. We've seen a couple in the past, and most recently Simon Lizotte last year, also on Gatekeeper Media at MVP Open. Congratulations to Kyle Klein for a hard-earned victory. And please be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those things that help this coverage continue. We'll also have Gatekeeper Unplugged coverage coming out later this week.
Yeah, excited we got to watch Kyle Klein with that clean 13 down hot round on the weekend. Thank you guys for tuning in. For Andrew Fish, I'm Nathan Queen, and we will see you guys out there.